Welcome to vlog 45. This one is mostly behind the scenes footage I shot on my phone, along with a bunch of random stuff you'll see throughout the video. First clip was when the soccer was on in Brisbane. One thing I noticed about the soccer fans was that a lot of people brought their families along, and it was a really different atmosphere compared to what you normally see at football over the month that it was on. They had the valley blocked off with the big screen and everything set up. I spent some time walking around taking photos of the spectators, and as you can see, everyone was having a great time. The next bit is just a random broken in car that was sitting next to this DIY quarter pipe while we were out filming for Alex's part, which we've been working on for a while. We ended up getting a good clip at the spot. As you can see, it's starting to fall apart, but it's still good to see stuff like this around Brisbane, and as usual, Alex was cleaning the spot before getting started. The next bit was from a job I did in Queen Street Mall with Kieran Anderson, as I mentioned in the BTS video from the shoot that I already put out. He puts on a really good show and knows how to work the crowd and get everyone involved. It was a really good event to photograph, and there was a great atmosphere throughout the whole thing.
Just put that there, we'll get that ready for later. We're going to put this aside. We're not home now, we're not going to cross-contaminate. We're not going to cook some chicken and some veggies together. We're going to wipe the bench down. We're coming straight out of our garden at home. So, with that flavour, we're also going to make a dressing. We're going to use a really yummy vinegar, which comes from a gentleman by the name of Ziggy's Wild Foods. All right, we've got radish, we've got tomato, we've got cucumber, we've got snow peas. Then what we're going to do is put some of these beautiful beans, these sprouts, just like so. Not just there for mold, everyone knows everyone out there, it's like Australia. All right.
The next bit of footage is from the unveiling of the Olympic countdown clock in Queen Street Mall, which was only a couple of weeks ago. It was a pretty difficult event to shoot because some of the media involved seemed to be a bit gatekeeping or territorial. They would sometimes stand right in front of you, even when you'd already had the spot. But I still managed to get some good photos out of it.
Friends is very much a place of community connection, and from today on they will see exactly how many days and hours and minutes until the 23rd of July?
Yeah, so if you're in what we
And this is the Nikon ZR. I stopped into a few different camera shops to test it out, and I'll be getting one towards the end of the year so I can start doing a lot more video work. It shoots Red RAW and Nikon RAW, which is pretty crazy, and it's also a lot cheaper than some of the newer Sony cameras, which have jumped up in price. Some of them are almost $2,000 more expensive now, so I'm pretty keen to see what I can do with the ZR once I get one.
I might have one available for sale.
When it was raining one day, I ended up going to the Queensland Museum and checking out this crazy tank they had there, along with some of the cameras that were used during World War II. I filmed some of it as well, which you'll see throughout this section. It's definitely worth checking out the Queensland Museum and the State Library, especially if you're around Brisbane. I don't normally go to either of them, so it was good to get out and see something a bit different. The next bit is the huge Supergirl mural that these guys did. It was about 3 stories high, and they even had fake broken bricks on the ground to make it look like the wall had been smashed through. Even though the movie ended up failing, I thought the mural came out really well, and it was pretty cool to see it in person. I was in town and randomly saw an older couple walking their greyhounds through the Myer Centre food court. I got chatting to them and found out they were heading to a protest in Queen's Gardens, where a lot of protests start, to campaign against greyhound racing in Australia and the way the dogs are treated. So I went along and took some photos of the protest as well. I also managed to get a pretty good shot of a police officer taking a photo of a Spanish whippet, which was a pretty random moment.
Where's Penny gone? She was here. Where's Jan?
we go. Oh, the Channel 9 lady. Oh, yeah.
The last event I went to was an Aputure lighting event. Aputure came to Australia to show off some of the crazy new lights they've got, and they were insanely bright. It was crazy seeing how powerful some of these lights are. I think one of them wasn't even at 5% power, was reflecting off the roof, and you could barely keep your eyes open. It was that powerful. It was also a really good event just to have a chat with other filmmakers and photographers around Brisbane and see what everyone else is working on.
Spectrum. So if we look at the actual sunlight spectrum we have, this is what it looks like at about 5600 kelvin. So you can see advantages. One of the advantages is that all of these lights are not as hot as in fact they seem like. And I'm not sweating right now, which is great. The other advantage is they're all lit to 1%.
How the fuck is that? I just don't want to. That's at 5%. Look at that. Jesus fucking Christ. That's a I dare you to turn it up. They want you to use it. Oh my god.
That's 50.
Oh my god.
The jumpers were 2XL.
Anyway, that's vlog 45. Thanks for watching.